Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. We'll start in a time.
All right, let's go together. So in next 10 seconds, we would start this event. So along with me, 10, 9, can I get
8,
7,
7,
6,
6, 5, 3,
3, 2,
1.
and let's get into the program now. All your seats are seated well. Perfect.
Hi, Shiv sir. Good evening. Why looking so confused?
Good evening, Aishwarya. You know what? I'm so confused. I want to learn generative AI in HR. But you know what? The online courses, I don't know which one to choose. I'm so confused about it, Aishwarya.
Have you ever explored LinkedIn Learning, sir?
LinkedIn, all that I have done is networking, personal branding, and yes, at times I do update my profile to look out for a good job too. So I haven't done anything more on that.
Then I guess, sir, you are at the right spot. We
Really?
are at the launch of LinkedIn Learning for our employees at Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you.
I, V. Shivakumar.
And I, Ashwarya, are your host for today's
Today's event.
event.
We are thrilled to have you all here for the much anticipated launch of LinkedIn Learning. Whether you are here to advance your career, enhance your skills, and explore new passion, LinkedIn Learning is a go-to platform where you can unlock your complete potential. Are you ready? Can I get a yes? A louder one. Perfect.
So it's more than just a platform. It's a bridge to your future success with access to library of 16,000 plus courses led by industry experts. We have an exciting lineup for you, filled up with live demos, insightful sessions, and much more. So get ready to explore how LinkedIn Learning can transform your professional journey. Without further ado, let's get started. As we start this auspicious day, the first day of Navratri, and on the same day, we are glad that we are launching the LinkedIn Learning platform. Let us start this event by lamplighting to mark the beginning of this significant event.
For this, I would like to call upon stage our MD CEO, Mr. Sanjeev Nautiyal, sir, Head of HR, Ms. Chandalekha Chowdhury, and our Executive Director, Ms. Carol Furtado, and Chief Credit Officer, Mr. Ashish Goel, and our Chief Legal Officer, Sri Kumar V. So can you please come onto the stage, sir? Round of applause, people. Thank you, everyone. I would request our MD CEO Sanjeev sir to stay back on the stage and to address this gathering and formally launch the LinkedIn Learning platform, sir.
Thank you, Shiv and Ashwarya. Thank you to the HR department for bringing this platform easily accessible to our staff members. I think organizations, it is their responsibility to ensure that the staff members are always up to the mark as far as learning levels and status goes. And any organization which is not going to focus on this very vibrant area will soon become moribund. And therefore, it's very heartening to see that Ujjivan has a very strongly embedded, entrenched learning and development. Earlier, we used to call it training, in the erstwhile era when I joined the bank. Now, the learning and development, and it has different dimensions to it. It's not only a change in the label, but the dimensions of the various actions that are behind it have also undergone a change. So therefore, the in-house training that we have, the in-house learning and development that we have, along with it, the various interventions that are sought from the outside world in terms of deputations to the NIBM, IIBF, KEFRAL. This is what the organization does on a continuous basis. And I'm sure that each employee knows that these are the avenues available to us to actually upgrade their learning and development quotient. In addition, IIMs are close to you. The ISB is very close to you. These are the fabled institutes that are close to us if only we have that urge to get that additional piece of learning. So kudos to Ujjivan for building a very strong platform, in-house, external, that they have done. And today, LinkedIn, along with Udemy and the other platforms, Harvard Business School, that we already have, is going to provide a lot of impetus to our staff members to actually go for the moon. And this will lead to skilled, talented staff within the organization. It's going to change the ethos of the organization, the culture of the organization. And I think every organization would want its staff members to upgrade and elevate their learning quotient. So I urge all of you to please make full use of this facility, of this facilitation that Ujjivan has created for you. And it also means it cares for you. And it also wants you to care for the organization. So this day, a very momentous red letter day for Ujjivan for coming up with such a strong and a most sought after platform. And with the Gen Z, literally looking at the social media and the tech platforms as their way of life. That's a second home to them. For some, it's the first home, perhaps. So I would urge you all to make the best out of this facilitation, this facility provided to you, and make a mark in the horizons of Ujjivan. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. There are a few questions which I wanted to ask you, sir, before we just let you go.
Come here.
All right, thank you. Sir, how has learning helped you in your career, sir? If you could just throw some lights to that.
First was the academics, I think that's imposed on you as a given, in the Indian household. Maybe things are changing now. So academics was the first foundation that everyone had to actually undergo. And I was no exception. My brothers and all were very particular. Padhai karni hai tumhe aur kuch nahi karna hai, I had lost my father very early. So that was, of course, one thing. And then I joined SBI. It had a strong institutional focus on learning and development. So we used to have staff training centers, at least 4 to 5 in each state. Can you believe it? 4 to 5 staff training centers in each state virtually, barring perhaps the Northeast. And then we also had an apex college for learning and development. Three of them in Hyderabad. One was the State Bank Staff College, one was for technology, and the other one was for rural development. And then in the 80s, we had an academy in Gurgaon as well. So the bank laid a very strong foundation on in-house, training inputs to the staff members. And then every 4 years, you would normally become eligible for a promotion. When the promotion time used to come, a lot of, referring to the books and the articles and keeping abreast with, bank also had a system of giving newspapers, Economic Times and Times of India. You could subscribe to 2 newspapers and the bank would pay for it. So in the bank, there was a lot of focus on learning and development, and also the experience of running branches, working in zonal offices, head offices. I think while the theoretical construct is very important to understand the concepts, the real learning comes from your workplace actually. So I think many of us who would like to look at the workplace as developing them must use it as a platform. So all in all, these were the essential ingredients for keeping yourself abreast. And then the bank also sent to SP Jain. Bank also had an MBA course run by the SP Jain, where it was a part-time course, and many people did that MBA course. So I'm sure we are also moving in the right track, and we would also be having the best-in-class learning and development initiatives within the bank.
Thank you, sir. I'm not stopping with that. There's another question following to it. Sir, from a first-time manager to that of a leadership role. So just to give a little highlight, sir, with Ujjivan, we also have a lot of supervisory intervention programs. So we call it as a Praram, which is a supervisory... Praram. Yeah, so we call it as a supervisory skills program, so which is a 2-day long program. And we also have a GMI, which is a Great Manager Institute paneled programs also, which is called as a LIFT, which is Leaders Inspired for Tomorrow, and Uplift, which will focus for the RLT teams, which are Regional Leadership Team and the National Leadership Team, and their jodis also. Now, when you look back, sir, because I could see a lot of passion coming in when you were talking about the SBI Apex and the Economic Times being subscribed. So how do you see, sir, or rather for the people here, so if you want to carry some tips, advices from your end, from a first-time manager to that of a leadership role, how do I enhance myself? How do I upskill myself? We see you as LinkedIn Learning right now, sir.
No, it's about, first is on-the-job role that you have. Is there something more you would like to acquire, The inputs will be available to you in terms of what is being done in your department. And I would say not only what you are doing on your seat, but the associated extensions in that department are also the first, purview that you should have. And see that whether, if it is an associated role, it is an extended of the role that you are playing. So I think first thing is to see whether within the department have I grasped, if not completely and fully, am I aware of the nuances of what is happening, So within the department, I would say is the first port of call. And then depending on where your interests lie, your department where you are posted may not be your entire focus or interest perhaps. But if you are interested in some other branch of the learning, you could start acquiring that. And that could actually become the base for your request to move you into another department of your choice where you have buttressed your skills and learning and development. So I think it has to be acquired. There has to be a hunger and motivation to learn, to keep yourself abreast with what is happening in the entire ecosystem, because you are part of a bigger ecosystem. Are you aware of the threads that are linking us to the larger ecosystem? I think there are enough clues available to you to where all to look for to satiate your need for learning. So no one size fits all, no particular prescription, but what is your area of interest? Can you build more capabilities? Can you build more skills, more awareness, more understanding? And then maybe move into that area as your actual workplace. And the organization would love it actually, that you have acquired yourself with the right rhythms and the right metrics to actually now move or graduate to a different department. I mean, that's how I would see, and there are ample opportunities, as we said, within Ujjivan and outside the external environment that people can actually leverage.
Thank you so much, sir. That was such a valuable insight for us.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
joining
much.
us,
Thanks
sir.
a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sanjeev sir. We would now like to call upon stage our head of HR, Ms. Chandralekha Chaudhary, to hear a few words from her on this initiative of continuous learning. Please, ma'am.
Thanks, Aishwarya. Hi, good evening. Do you have questions for me or should I start? Okay.
Start.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Learning has been a very important pillar in Ujjivan's culture right from inception. And I think especially when we converted into a small finance bank, at that time Carol ma'am was the head of HR and they took up a humongous training program for all the employees who were graduating from an NBFC background to a bank. So learning has been a cornerstone for Ujjivan, and I'm sure all of you know, with the kind of push that we keep doing on mandatory learnings and all of that. But in the last 2 years, the learning team's focus has been more about how can learning be more of a pull than a push. We decided that we will bring the water to everyone and the right people will ensure that they go and get a part of it. So there are a lot of things. If you can see the slide here, I think, can you? That's it? All right. So on this slide, what you see is some of the things that we have done in terms of learning. Number one is number of employees that we've trained over the last 2 years is almost 30,000, 46,000 employees. The 30,000 last year and around 16,000 unique employees till now, till I think August 2024. Learning grants, we have given out around 39 learning grants last year. This year till now, we have given out 11 learning grants, which goes up to somewhere around 35 lakhs. Which is actually, we have just scratched the, surface. We also have had almost 1,200 external certifications. So there are various kind of certifications like Sanjeev sir was saying, IIBF and NIBM. We send them for craft role trainings by RBI. We have various different, partnerships that we have done. So there's a lot on learning that we've done. Also, some of the things, like I said, that, learning has to be more of a pull. Learning helps you develop for your career path. And we are trying to make Ujjivan now with almost 24,000 employees, it has to be an independent choice. The people who choose to invest in their careers, upgrade themselves, definitely will be favored in our IJP process. Our internal job posting process is as transparent as it can be. And people who have an overall experience 360 degree are the people who will reach the top. And we have examples like Carol ma'am sitting here, Mr. Nautiyal sitting here, people who have extensive overarching experience and not only experience in one area. One of the things, of course, has been a hit in Ujjivan this year is the weekly quizzes and people getting Amazon awards. And I hear very interesting stories of things people buying with that Amazon voucher. So almost 3,700 employees have won Amazon vouchers through participation. And of course, the actual participation is a lot more. So if you haven't been lucky yet, keep trying. Every week we have new topics on which quizzes are done. Ivy League programs, we have till date sent actively 5 employees. 2 of them are nominated for this year, who went to the US, Harvard, and did a course on financial inclusion and got a world view. We have Ivy League programs with organizations like IIMs and XLRI, XIMB, and almost 17 participants have participated till now, and we have plans this year as well. The Harvard Business Publishing, if I'm right, has almost 300 registered participants with 67% people who are using it. And of course, advanced management program, like Mr. Nautiyal said, we also have a tie-up with IIMC. and IIBF, and I think there are about 14 participants who are taking a 10-month-long course, and they will also have 5 days immersion in IIBF and NIBM. These courses are all covered through learning grants. These mails are coming regularly from human resources. So take your time, look at these things and participate. This is for your growth, of course. So that is about it. LinkedIn Learning is something that our employees have been asking for over 2 years. There are certain departmental meetings that we go and attend. And all the time I keep hearing, LinkedIn is not there, what learning, LinkedIn. So now it's here, now I would like to see how many people actually participate. Also, we are bringing Udemy also. Udemy will be a partnership course between Ujjivan and the employee. So we'll get to know who are really interested in advancing their careers with the learning initiatives.
Thank you, ma'am. So Aishwarya has some questions to you, ma'am, following up.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It is always wonderful to hear from you. Just one question, ma'am. How do you find time for learning in your busy schedule?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Everybody knows that time is a very difficult commodity in our lives. And what I have done, it was difficult, but what I've now consistently done is that when I commute, I utilize a lot of the audio books that are available. And audio, video, YouTube learning, LinkedIn learning. So I ensure that when I'm commuting, I definitely use it. And I also have a target that every month I will finish one book. I'm yet to reach that goal, but yeah. So yeah, that's how I...
That's very nice, ma'am, and a creative way to manage learning with work in your commute time. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your time. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to put our hands together, welcoming the Head of Talent Management and Learning and Development, Ms. Shini Ashok, as we embark this journey of transformative learning. Right, ma'am?
Thank you, Shiva. A very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this wonderful afternoon and on a special occasion as we take a step towards a journey of making learning interesting and fun, but meaningful and effective as well. So in our day-to-day operations, we often tend to forget how great an organization we are. I have some data points with me, and probably it'll help you, motivate you to feel the pride of the organization as an Ujjivanite. We are close to 23,800 plus employees spread across 750 plus branches in 30 departments. So 23,000 employees is almost 55 times of the audience that could be accommodated here. That's the strength that we have. We're present in 26 different states and union territories. We could almost speak all the officially scheduled languages of the country. Our work shift start as early as 6:30 in the morning, when a CRO would pick up the bag on her way to meet a customer. It could also be probably the same time a colleague from the IT department would be winding up his shift to head back home. The average age in our organization is 31 years old. However, the youngest employee that we have is 18 years old. And the most experienced is 63 years young. So when we were looking at a learning partner who could keep up with this pace, with this agility and diversity, our search led us to LinkedIn Learning. And I'm so glad that we have them here today as our official partners. You will shortly get to see the magic of the platform, how robust as a learning ecosystem it is. But before we go there, I have a short sales pitch for you today. I'm going to present to you a product which has the least investment to start with, but can yield profit margins that you would have never thought of. Any guesses? learning. So I have a couple of slides with me here, if I can. Shiva, if you could please help me. So look at all these superheroes. Do you think these superheroes would be superheroes if it was not for their superpowers? No. Do you think these superheroes would be superheroes if they did not learn to use their superpowers? Also a no. So the message of the story is very simple. Even if you are God's gift to mankind, or you are like us, you have to learn whether to save the world or to progress in your career. Shiva, if we can move to the next one. So often in my role, I have this question coming my way, sometimes agitated, sometimes innocently disappointed, of why is it that I've been in the organization for so long, I've spent so much of time, but I'm not getting a promotion, but somebody else who has joined later is way ahead of me. While there are multiple other factors, one of the most unassuming one is this: the power of compounding and the power of consistency. So one remains one throughout the year if there's no effort. But with a small incremental change of 0.01, that one can become almost 38. So the power lies with you. And every time it comes to learning, we have this tendency to have everything perfect set out. A perfect day where there are no work priorities, when there are no home exigencies. We'll start afresh with a new set of stationery, with a new notepad and a pen. Unfortunately, the learning never happens that way. So if you are given a chance, always choose consistency over perfection. Yes, Shiva. So like the Academy Award winner Denzel Washington said, I say luck is when opportunity comes along and you are prepared for it. And to help you with your own preparation, we have LinkedIn Learning with us here today and on your journeys forward. I'll tell you a couple of things that excite me as a learner with LinkedIn Learning. I tried to cram up as much as I could. There are 16,000 plus courses available on the platform curated by the industry experts. And what's more exciting is this. You could learn a topic like customer service to something like as deep as server administration. You could learn about cyber security or take some time off and learn about photography. There are courses which are 1.5 minutes. There are courses and certifications which span over several months, test your patience, and ultimately give you an esteemed certificate. So before we go any forward, there are certain do's and don'ts that I have for you. Some of them you already know. Please be consistent with your learning. Please remember the power of 0.01. Please stay focused. Please do not have multiple tabs open on your system or in your head while you're taking the course. Reflect on your learnings. So we in L&D have an habit of taking a lot of notes. If that is your thing, please do it. If not, take a quiet moment away to reflect on what you have learned. Implementation, like Sanjeev sir also mentioned, is the best way to learn anything. And when you're on your job, and if you want your learning to be deep, please implement some of these to your own work areas. But if you have to take your knowledge further, please share it with your colleagues and friends. Please do not procrastinate. You will shortly also have a framework coming your way, because unfortunately we have limited licenses with us. So every time you choose not to act on the opportunity given to you, you're taking away an opportunity from another colleague who would have been interested to take up something. Please do not multitask. Please keep your phones away. Please do not revert to emails if you are in between a course, or do not start the course. And of course, do not push too hard. Just because you have taken a learning goal, please do not push too hard to make it happen that particular day. They could be work priorities, they could be home exigencies. Take a pause, stop it for a couple of hours, maybe for a couple of days, and come back to it. The content will still be there. Please do not become complacent. Just because you do a certification and you put it over on LinkedIn does not mean that you will know everything about the topic. We operate in an industry which is changing every day. We operate in an ecosystem and in an environment which is changing every day. So whatever is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow, so keep upgrading. And the most important is, please do not neglect time management. Please do not let work interfere in your learning, and vis-a-vis, please do not let learning or LinkedIn Learning or Udemy or HBS interfere with your work hours. So that's all that I had. I hopefully have given you some inspiration to consider learning as your superpower. If not, I leave you with a message from a young friend, a very profound one.
सपने देखना अच्छी बात है, लेकिन सपने को लेकर के बैठे रहना और सपनों के लिए सोते रहना, ये तो सही नहीं है.
So thank you very much and welcome to LinkedIn Learning.
Thank you, ma'am. We can't leave you like that, ma'am. We have a couple of questions to check with you.
Sure.
It is wonderful always hearing from you, ma'am. So that's something. Guys, good round of applause. So can I hear from you? Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
So, ma'am, if I could just ask you, what had been the biggest learning for you this year?
Okay, I can tell you this. I have a 3-year-old toddler at home. So right now I'm learning to balance my work and my personal life. But the biggest learning probably that I have is the quote as it says, some days you will move mountains, the other days you will just successfully breathe, and both are okay.
Great, ma'am. So, yeah, since we are like in South India and Rajnikant is known for his style, and if we could just check with you, what would be your learning style? So what is that, ma'am?
I used to read a lot, but right now I'm into podcast. I learn a lot from them. Also movies.
It's more of like visionary types. So, okay. And if you could learn any new skill in 5 minutes, people, it's 5 minutes, okay? It's not 2 minutes, it's 5 minutes. So what would it be, ma'am?
Probably photography. That's an area of interest. Maybe to edit photos better.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and your talk.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much,
yes.
Shiva, Aishwarya.
Thank you. So that's a great quote. It goes like this. The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you, right? And also to just give you some more data points with regards to the LinkedIn Learning, it's just that 74% of the LinkedIn users have said that they have advanced their careers through this LinkedIn Learning, right? And in every 5 seconds, every second, 5 users are completing their courses on the platform. So this is the power of this platform that we are talking about. So now that as users, so since this is a special invite and has gone to selected people, so I assume that people have registered and logged in. How many of you have logged in this crowd? Who wants to go first? So we wanted to hear it from you, how your experience has been like logging into the platform. So what is that did you observe? So were you confused like me as at the beginning of the act that we did, or how it was it? So who wants to go first? So we are ready with the mic.
Sumit sir, would you like to go?
Yeah, good evening. So when I logged in from the system, I sent a mail to Shiva also that thanks to our internal policy, we were not able to do that. I logged in on mobile because Shiva promptly replied that through mobile also you can do that. And so I am reloaded. So Learning Hub is the one where you get the icon for this one and also for the Harvard Business reporting. So one thing, it gives you option. You want to enhance present skills. You want to transform your career. and one more option was there. So definitely, and then it also helps you in choosing the different kind of courses which will be relevant to you as per the choice you have taken. So I'm sure I haven't yet started learning through LinkedIn, but definitely it would be much more fun and definitely a learning experience. We all know that learning, we are having a saying, Vidya baatne se badhti hai. So as a team manager, definitely if I know something, I will impart that further down to my team, and a much more learned people within the organization would definitely be an asset to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Who wants to go
Thank you.
next? I saw a lot of hands getting
Supriya,
raised.
would you like to go next?
Hi, very warm good evening to one and all. I would like to start with I would like to start with that I, as an individual, was actually searching the ways to how to start learning on my own, and I was actually excited to see this, announcement coming up. And as long as I got the link for the activation, I did it right away, and it was so user friendly. In a very quick, I was synced my LinkedIn account with the link. Then quickly I had to select my learning goals that I already had in my mind. And in a gist, I could see few of the recommended courses, though I could not progress it further through the busy day, but still I have those courses in my mind. So I think that's a very positive impact of the platform, and I believe it will only higher the expectation and it will definitely meet them. So I'm quite excited for this learning platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll go for the one last experience here. Anyone? Yes.
Hi all. I just want to confirm the activation was pretty easy. So we thought it may be difficult to connect with the LinkedIn profile, but I felt it different way because it was very easy to connect through your ID login, and so excited to know that there are 16,000 plus trainings in this platform. We customize what we need for your respective area. So excited to know. Yet to know the learning, the layout. I think it will be a better experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for LinkedIn Learning Platform. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ms. Carol Furtado, Executive Director, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, who has led the foundation of Ujjivan and has been instrumental in scaling Ujjivan to greater heights.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Thanks. Good evening. It's great to be here in this occasion because, learning or training, as Mr. Nautiyal said in the early days, has always been important to Ujjivan. Right from when we started in 2005, training has always been at the forefront of all that we do. And every one of you have gone through rounds of training, because when you get into Ujjivan, the first thing that you do is get trained. And that's the basics that we, impart to the new people who've joined Ujjivan. The training comes in various ways. It's not just classroom training, but it comes through even seeing and watching others do what they're doing, visiting people, our staff in the branches, our customers in the branches, anywhere and everywhere. Training is a continuous process. And I strongly believe that the day you stop learning or training or developing yourself, I think you should go under the ground. So that's how it is. The training keeps your mind active. Learning something new keeps your mind active. And learning gives you a lot of opportunities to excel, try out new things, do whatever you want to do. And your mind is always active. And that's something that we all need to take on that responsibility ourselves and learn something new every day. And, you know, I think Ujjivan is one of the very few organizations that gives so much importance to training, learning, development, whatever you call it. But that's something that Ujjivan has always done and will continue to do so. And, you know, that's one of the reasons, I guess, that Ujjivan employees are always at a premium. You know, I'm sure a lot of you have heard that when people go for interviews outside, as soon as they get to know that they're from Ujjivan, it becomes easier for them to join another organization. Controversial, but I guess that's a fact. You know, that's something that Ujjivan has always encouraged, learn and grow. And I think I'll just stop here, but I'm glad that the HR team is continuing to keep training at the forefront, and I wish them all the best. But I just want to say one more quote. I mean, a lot of quotes were said today, so one more quote. And this is from a very controversial person. I'm sure you've heard of Richard Branson. He has said, you know, when opportunities come your way, take it. And you can learn how to do it later. But the key word there is learn how to do it. Otherwise, you'll get bombed. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Carol, ma'am.
We
have
do
just
have
one question for
one
you.
question for you, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So now that you have talked about continuous learning that helps us in growth, and talking about various training programs that we as an Ujjivanite go. So, ma'am, what is your one of your favorite training program?
That's a very easy question, and I just love this training program, which is the basic level training program, BLT. That's something that was started right when we started Ujjivan, and I was fortunate enough to be one of the trainers in that first BLT that we had, and I still know how many people were there, and I have the names of the people, and I have the photograph of that, and that continues to be my favorite training program.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
ma'am. Thank you for joining
you, ma'am.
in.
Thanks for
It's
your time.
always wonderful to hear from you, ma'am.
All right, now that we have heard from our leadership team, so our partners, LinkedIn Learning, are here. So, guys and everyone, just put your hands together, welcoming Mr. Santosh D'Souza, Director, Talent and Learning Solutions, LinkedIn India, and Mr. Anup Sachidaran, Head of Growth Accounts, South, LinkedIn Talent and Learning Solutions. Let's hear from you. So, all yours, sir.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. I think I need some energy in the room. Come on. Great. Good evening. Brilliant. Firstly, I'd like to, for those, as Shiv mentioned, my name is Santosh D'Souza. I've been with LinkedIn for 12 plus years. I lead our talent and learning solutions business for the region. I'm based out of Bangalore and not too very far from Koramangala, so I stay in Koramangala as well. But having said that, I think one of the reasons I'd like to take this opportunity of firstly thanking the leadership team, Mr. Sanjeev and the entire leadership team for sort of embarking on this journey of learning in your organization, right? Like I said, in my role, I think this is one of the best kickoffs of LinkedIn Learning I've ever come across. There are a few I've attended, let me be honest. And by far, this is, I think, one of the very, very best and couldn't be on a more auspicious day like the first day of Navratri. So thank you all, right? You can go to the next slide, please. Oh, I can use the clicker. You know, there's a famous saying, right? Our jobs are changing, even though we are not changing our jobs. What it means by that is the skill sets for jobs are considerably changing, have changed by close to 40% by 2020, and will change by close to 70% in the next 3 or 4 years, right? Just think about it. I'm a salesperson. When I hired people 5 years back, the skill sets I looked at that individual were way different to what I look at today. So, and in fact, there's a huge dearth of skills across the globe. Let me give you one statistics, and I know a lot of numbers have been thrown in, and I'll throw a few as well to join the party. A recent Korn Ferry report says there's going to be a 30 million shortfall of skilled labor. That's approximately the population of Germany by 2030. Why? Because a lot of roles which, if you see, did not exist 20 years ago, which were on the rise, do not exist. Today, AI, machine learning, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, sustainability, these are skills which are highly in demand, right? Today, when I talk to leaders outside the tech world, they more often than say, Santosh, we are not an insurance company, we are a tech company selling insurance products. Or, I am a tech company, we are selling pharmaceutical products. Everything is around technology today because we are seeing that change happen a lot as we speak. If you go to the next slide. You know, when I've been in the workforce for the last 20 plus years. When I did my college, my parents said, Santosh, get a degree, that will get you a job. Right? So I was an engineering dropout, my mother thought, and my parents thought he's going to be no use. Right? But the fact is, today, it's not as much as degrees and pedigrees are important, it's about the right skills. It's about each and every individual here in this room and outside to have the right skills for a particular role. So we are seeing that change a lot more than ever before. Skills are evolving faster, right? Let me give you a simple example, and I know we talk about tech skills. A lot of some of these tech skills can be replaceable through a lot of models, and I'm not going to get into that. But will that make the role of a tech person or a software engineer redundant? The answer is no. What will be important for him is communication and collaboration skills. Skills on behavior, which when I talk to a lot of leaders, they say, we have the best coders in my company. But guess what? They're very bad at communication or they're bad at collaboration. So we're seeing that shift happening as we speak. And let me, can go to the next slide? One of the biggest disruptors today, what we're seeing is AI. A show of hands. Over the last, say, 6 months, who hasn't seen topic on AI come across everywhere, right? Right till just recently, there was the UN, in the General Assembly, they spoke about how can AI be more productive so that it's not disruptive, right? Right to governments today and state governments creating AI policies, we're seeing that change happen. A recent report by LinkedIn where we actually, go to and ask a lot of Gen Z, as Mr. Sanjeev spoke about, because those are the people who want upskilling. They want to learn a new skill. And they're going to join organizations or work in organizations which will give them those tools, which will enhance their skills. Because why? They're already using that in their personal capacity. So they're not going to join a company where, it's age old or not in tune with modern times. So we're seeing that as well. And a lot is changing today. Conversations on AI on a platform like LinkedIn has increased. Today, with over 1 billion members on our platform, we're seeing there's a 70 to 75% increase on conversations on AI. And let me tell you, this number is just going to increase because we're seeing conversations, like I said, right from governments to today organizations, right? The next slide, please. And what are some of the two foundational shifts which we are seeing from a technology point of view? And I'm not getting specifics into AI, but I just touch upon this. One is, we're seeing a lot, like I just mentioned, a lot of some of these automation can actually be done in, which will enhance productivity and efficiency. Let me give you a simple example. Let's take, for example, the HR function. Today, in fact, a recent study which was done by Aon actually stated, and they went to TA recruiters and they said, are you using AI tools? And most of them said, 90% said, yes, we are using. Out of those 90%, all 100% said that it improves their efficiencies. So in every function, it does help in improving efficiencies and productivity. The next is what we're seeing in terms of jobs which are there on the platform on LinkedIn. Today, LinkedIn, like I said, we've got over 1 million jobs on our platform because of the plethora of companies who are there. We're seeing a 21x increase in the number of postings over the last 18 months or so. Why? Because companies are looking at people with those skills. Let me tell you, AI is not going to make our jobs redundant, but if you do not have the right skills, a person who has that will probably make your job redundant, right? So we're seeing that as well. Finally, this is the moment where it's very important that as companies, we remain agile. We are forward-looking, right? Today's newspaper, which I read, I think a KPMG report, went and actually interviewed CEOs like Mr. Sanjeev across India, and a lot of them did mention that AI is something which they want to implement in every function in their organization so that it drives efficiencies. This is the role this plays. And it's so heartening to see an organization like Ujjivan Small Bank, which is taking that initiative to not only upskill its workforce, invest in talent like you, so that there is that sense of belonging, a reason why you should stay, and advancements in your own career, right? So, and finally, it's all about agility. Today, think about it, if you see this, the road, there are three things which are most essential for a great person to sort of navigate through this road and you know, speed, right? One is the technology which is being used. In any organizations is what is the technology which you're adopting in an organization. Second is the competence. Are your people in your organization competent enough? Do they have the right skills to be able to navigate this change which is there and rapidly changing? And third, what is the environment the organization is creating? And what's so heartening to see is the environment which this company is creating for each of you is going to go a long way in terms of this organization being more agile and adopting to things on a faster pace. Thank you, and it's been an honor and pleasure to sort of have this conversation with each of you. With that, I'll hand it over to my colleague, Anup, to say a few words.
Thank you. Thanks, Santosh. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Anup, and I manage the renewal business for LinkedIn. Been with LinkedIn for about 11 years. That's my claim to fame. I was thinking, while coming over here, why is this so special for me? I mean, being a part of a LinkedIn launch is great, but learning launch, but what else? My mother worked in the banking ecosystem. She was there for about 30 plus years. So the banking family is actually very, very close to my heart, right? I still remember the day when registers moved out and computers came in, and I've seen her grappling with fear, figuring out what to do, but she managed to get it done. I think that was also a great example that learning is something that's continuous, and there's no age that, gets you to stop or start or whatever, right? And it was amazing to see her go on that journey. Now, having said that, firstly, I just wanted to say kudos to the Ujjivan family, to take this huge step and embarking on this journey. So huge congratulations to all of you all for doing this and empowering your people, to go on this learning journey. Santosh spoke about AI, and yes, AI is here to stay, right? We're seeing this on LinkedIn as well. What are some of the key parameters that we're seeing on LinkedIn? If you could just move a couple of slides. Over the past couple of years, what we've seen is that typically we have more than 21x jobs being posted on LinkedIn, which has a skill related to AI. We're seeing more than 140x increase in ChatGPT or related skills that members are putting on their profiles. And that's a huge jump. And more than 70x in terms of companies, or 70% of the companies saying that we are AI ready, which means they're empowering their people with AI related skills and saying that we're ready to go on that journey. And that is a huge thing for any organization as they go on this particular journey. AI is great, but how are we helping you on that journey, right? I think that's the most important part. Anup, get to the point. How is LinkedIn helping us, buddy? How are you going to do this for us? When you look at our aspiration as an organization or an ambition as a company, right, it is always to connect the global workforce to the relevant opportunities. But today, we've added one special segment to that. We're saying that we will connect you to those opportunities, but we'll also make sure that you have the skill sets to make sure that you're able to get those opportunities. We spoke about Denzel Washington, we spoke about Branson as well, And the most important part was learning, right? The point was, how do you have the right skills? How do you learn when those opportunities come so that you're able to grab it with both hands? And that's exactly what we're doing through our ambition of being an equitable marketplace to connect opportunities with the relevant skills. If we go to the next slide, how are we actually doing this today, right? Why does it give me the confidence that LinkedIn as a platform can do that for you all? And that comes from this. This is what we call our LinkedIn economic graph. What does it do? It's a complete analytics space which tells us what is exactly happening over here. We have 1 billion members. We have more than 67 million companies. We have more than 15 million jobs which are on the platform at this point in time. And we have more than 41,000 skills that we've already mapped and we're working on, which means for leaders, it's a great place to tell you what is the future of the skill. And we have more than 133,000 schools that have already been mapped, which means that the next generation is also gearing up for this, right? So we have all of this and the data to tell you that, hey, you know what, we could be the right partner for you in this journey as you embark on your journey of learning, right? If you move to the next slide, what are some of the key factors that anyone looks at when you are partnering with an organization that comes with the relevant skills or the relevant technology of AI, right? The first thing, we are able to give you tools that make an impact for you in the sense that we can give you data. You can be well informed about the decisions that you're making. What skills are important today? What skills are important for the future? Which means that you build a learning path for people and make sure that they're future ready. The second part, we're able to predict and adapt, and this comes a lot because of our Microsoft partnership. Because of the models that we've built, we are able to tell you what are some of those AI models that really work for you and your employees, and that could be the key factor for you. And the most important thing is trust. AI today can be used in any form. We are saying that we are going to be very, very fair and conscious in the way we are going to be treating AI, and that's the reason why we believe we can be that trusted partner for you all. Going one step ahead, we want to kind of also show you how does this impact in your learning journey. If you move to the next one, the first and the foremost thing that we're doing today is guiding you all, right? Like today when I get on the platform and I tell the platform, tell me how do I get to being a senior manager. LinkedIn is able to guide you and tell you here are certain skills that are important for you. Great, skills are there. What next? It gives you amazing content. A lot of AI-powered coaching comes in. It tells you the kind of content that we have. And then these are very, very high-definition content that you have, which makes a lot of impact for you guys to understand, okay, this is what I need to gear myself up with. If that is not enough, we just heard about IJPs. We're able to connect the jobs. Those jobs are going to come on your platform and tell you that given that you have the skills now, go and apply for this job. Grab this opportunity and take that role, right? And that's where we're going to make you future ready. And the most important part is we're going to help you measure all of this. Because if it's not measured, it's not done right. So we are going to help you with that as well. So having said that, I think, again, I just want to say a huge thank you to the entire Ujjivan family for embarking on this journey. And I'll pass it on to Akanksha, who's going to take you through the platform. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, good evening. I think we are almost at 5 o'clock in the evening today. And today when I talk to you all, as Anup said, I come from a banking family. My father has worked with State Bank for his entire life. He's retired now. My sister still works with Bank of India. And I started my career in a financial institution. So I started my career with mutual funds. And here I am today. That adds to how skilling is important for each one of us. Moving on, if you talk about, and as everyone was talking about how skilling is evolving, what it means for all of us? All of us, I mean the employees who are here. And what is a trend that we have seen over the period of time, especially in this year, the top 5 trends that you see, where do you see the most increase is helping employees develop their careers. So learning has not just become a part that your HR team plays, it has become an important part for you to grow as in the organization as well. And this is something that the employees have called it out. And why is it important? Because it just does not help us grow in the career, it also helps us develop individually as well. So we as individuals are also developing and building new skills. Move forward.
Yeah.
We do a workplace learning report every year, and in this year we've called out these 10 skills. And if you see, communication stands on the top, and the one that is at the moment is adaptability. And trust me, I think all of us are adapting to a lot of changes right now within our organizations, the world, technology, and everything that we use in our day-to-day lives as well. If you move on. How does a platform that you're getting access to adds to everything that we've been talking about? So it brings to you the power that the platform has with 1 billion members, which is all of you all. So it's not about just a few people, but all of us who are here right now as well. And it talks about career development. It talks about the content that we build. And I'll just come to how important it is for us to bring the content that we bring to you. And the everyday tools. So on everyday tools, we have this beautiful thing called LinkedIn Daily. And that's on your mobile. So you do it on your mobile app, and it actually gives you a fire sign every day when you complete even 5 minutes or 2 minutes of content. So it gives you that, and every day I wouldn't say a sense of achievement, but it builds every day for you. And it gets refreshed every week. If you move on. I was talking about the quality of content that we create. It is created in our studios, and our studios are as good as Srini mentioned, the superheroes. We have a very, very state-of-the-art facility wherein our content is developed. We get 50 plus new courses every week, so you will find new content coming in, and more often than not, you'll find the update happening and coming in every 15 days on the platform as well. So just taking a few statements from everyone that has been mentioned. When we were kids, we have given exams. It's not like exams, but definitely some evaluation that help us understand where we begin. So while we are trying to even grow ourselves or learn new skills, the biggest and most important part is where to begin. So evaluations are one part which will help you. Next. When we are learning in a journey that we are on in our careers, I don't think so we give exams anymore, and we don't have report cards to submit, right? All we have are these certifications that we use to further tell the world that we have enhanced in a certain area or we've developed a new skill. These are certain things which you can not just keep it with you, but put it on your LinkedIn profile. Because as a mandate, you will have your profile connected to linkedin.com, and you can easily share that on your LinkedIn profile as well. Okay, we will jump to Q&A before I think we'll first go to the platform demo and then we'll come to the Q&A. That works? Okay. Just give me a second. I'll come back on that. Each and every one of you who has logged in, this is how your homepage should look like. And for all of you who are yet to log in, you would have received an email from the HR team wherein you have a blue button. If you click on it, that's where you go ahead and create your profiles. So on the home, if you see, if you scroll down a bit, you will be able to see, based on everything that you have picked up, the skills that you've liked, the topics that you've picked up, the skills that you follow, in fact, the data that is there on your linkedin.com profile. The recommendation on the platform will flow based on all these areas, plus what other people are learning in your organization on LinkedIn.com based on what your role is. So if I'm a product manager, what is happening in my world as well. So the recommendations are all around. It is built around you as a learner on the platform. The more you learn, the more the platform also evolves along with you and develops recommendations which are aligned to you as a learner. If you see on the left, it says my career journey, right? And I think everyone spoke about it who has signed in and has an experience with it. If you can click on edit. The moment you sign in the first time, this is the first thing that the platform asks. There are only 3 ways to grow in your career. One, you either evolve in your own skill or in your own role, you move to a different role, or you become a people manager, right? Depends on what your aspiration is. Go ahead and pick up a goal which is aspirational to you. Whether it's in your same role, you want to transition in another role, or you want to be a people manager. For now, I picked a product manager. If you say continue. It will give me an option to choose the skills. I can edit this at any given point of time while I'm using the platform. There is a probability when I start learning, I realize this is not what I want to do. I can go ahead and change it and adapt into something else that I really want to do. Finish. Once you finish this, you see it gives you a learning plan. It's a step-by-step process. It tells you what to do next. Once you finish this entire series, scroll to the bottom. It also gives you the potential career paths based on the path that I have picked up. And it also tells me what is the percentage of alignment of the skills once I finish this particular learning path. So if I want to become a senior product manager, my skills right now would be 33% aligned to it. And it gives me a roadmap ahead. So it's not like it's just telling me what happens after 6 months, but what can you do beyond that time period as well. If you can come to the left. Any questions on this? And I'm open to questions if you want to ask in between while I'm talking, nothing like it. Please let me know if you have questions. If you come down to AI coaching, this is something that you'll also find on the home page as well. And this is something that I learned when I was a kid and we had started going to the computer lab the first time. Something that our teacher told us was garbage in, garbage out. So the best way to utilize this is the more accurate information you put in here, the more accurate the response would be for you. Or else the platform will end up responding to you that we don't know what you mean, can you elaborate? It will give you questions based on what you have mentioned on your profile. It will collect information from there and then give you some recommendations to ask questions. You can keep elaborating on it. And the beautiful part is that it doesn't give you just one course, it sometimes gives you a part of the course as well. That, okay, this is not the entire course that you need to study. You can go through just this particular part in the course and you're done. Sometimes it might end up giving you 2 or 3 courses at a go, based on what you're asking. And the other part is, we have added human intelligence here. We have tied up with instructors, and we will keep increasing these instructors as well to bring in human intelligence. So that there are certain questions which might require a human intelligence behind it, and we have tied up with some of the instructors as well. Come to My Library. My Library is your space. So it tells you the progress that you have done, anything that you have saved for the future, what has been assigned by your organization, what has been recommended by your organization, and what is it that you have done in the past as well. If you can scroll up. If you see, it gives you a weekly goal. And Sheeny had it in her presentation that be realistic. Even if you do 5 minutes of learning every day, it actually adds on to a lot by the end of the month. So it is 150 minutes by the end of the month. Rather than sitting and doing an hour-long course, which I completely agree, when I had to sit in a classroom for 1 hour for a lecture, I would zone out after some time. Trust me, keeping smaller goals is something that takes you where you want to be at the end of a month. Skills that you follow, it is all based on what you are learning right now, or where do you want to be right now, or say next week. You can keep changing them, adding, removing the way you would want to, and your recommendation will flow accordingly as well. If you look at evaluations, can you click on this? Once you take evaluation, it gives you the Microsoft Excel one. Show the results. It actually breaks down every part of the evaluation that you have taken. So it tells you that in Microsoft Excel, what areas am I a beginner in, what areas am I at an intermediate level, and what areas am I an expert in. So it doesn't say that in Microsoft level, you are at intermediate level. But in Microsoft Excel, which areas you are in intermediate level. It also recommends the content that you need to do to reach, say, an expert level or an intermediate level. If you can go back to the home. Content. So our content is primarily divided into 4 areas: technology, business, creative, certifications, and the content that your organization would publish. So Flexes that you see is our organization and the content that they have published. If you scroll down a bit, you will find role guides. So these role guides are pre-curated guides present on our platform. We have 100 plus role guides. So based on the roles that we have seen across the industry in various roles, we have created this. And your HR team will be able to create role guides which are more aligned to you as an organization as well. So if you say pick up category manager, anything that you would want to. So if you see, it gives you an overview into what this role is about, the top skills that are required for this. Once you pick this and you go through it, it also gives you a preview of the kind of content that it will cover. So you can see the preview as well. And if you like it and this is something that you want to do, you can go ahead and say, create my learning plan. Your career goal will automatically change once you pick this up. It will automatically give you everything that is required for this particular role that you picked up. So you don't have to go ahead and do anything in it. All that you have to do is select few things. It's basically 4 clicks and you're done. You have the journey created for you. You don't have to sit and search for content as well. It's the easiest way to learn on a platform which has 16,000 courses. Scroll down. For all the tech folks here, if you see on the left, there's a portion called Apply. And you see coding practice. We have a hands-on environment available. GitHub is our sister company. You can actually go to GitHub, practice there. So it can be like a playground for all the tech folks who wants to go ahead and utilize the environment to build on it. That is something that you can do. So we have within the course environment available and GitHub environment as well. So these are 2 areas in which you can do that. We are growing in this area as well. So this will also keep increasing. Certifications. So you will see certifications divided into 4 different categories. If you see the first one, professional certificates, we have actually tied up with these OEMs to provide you certificate which is co-branded with these OEMs. So if I'm talking about say Zendesk or ServiceNow or Microsoft, the certificate of completion that you get would be co-branded with these organizations and LinkedIn. So it carries more weightage for you on your profile as well. We have preparation as well. We have mock exams as well for people who are looking at doing certifications and completing them as well. I think I'm good at my end, but if you can scroll, go to content and scroll down, go to content. Content. Scroll to the bottom. Bottom. So you see these office hours. These are something that are done by instructors live. You can actually join these office hours. You can see the past events, upcoming, whatever interests you. So you have multiple events. You can pick up the one that interests you. And these are not very long, though they are all in the evening. But you can pick up something that you really want to learn or participate in. So these are live sessions from the instructors. This is also something that is available to each and every learner. I am all good here. Any questions that I can answer? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akansha.
Thank you so much, Akansha, for orienting the participants on how to access the platform and how we can leverage LinkedIn Learning through its key functionalities.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Akansha.
The saying goes, all work and no play makes the Jack a dull boy, right? So, how exciting it had been so far? You guys are enjoying it?
Yes.
Yes. Certainly, yes. We do have stacks post to the session. So, can I get that louder yes from you all?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, in order to double the excitement, we have some gamification coming on your way. So, what's in it for me? Vifims. So, anything that I'm going to do, what's in it for me? And you be the top 5. You can carry the goodies right away from the LinkedIn team who have a greater heart. Like, we can also get more than 5, Santosh? Okay, fine. We will talk on this later part. All right. So get ready. So Akansha, you could just help us. How do we go about it? Because it was really a great orientation in terms of the key functionalities that you have shown. So you could also help the team, give them a little brief. How do we go about it? And yes, we do have conditions apply. So what are they?
So the condition that applies here is all the employees sitting here are welcome to be part of this game. So grab your gadgets and Akansha, over to you.
Use your LinkedIn Learning app on the mobile, scan this and do the course. Fastest finger first. You have to finish the course and upload it on linkedin.com and tag Ujjivan as well. And that's about it. So the first 5 people who are able to complete at least 2 courses and put it on linkedin.com, tagging Ujjivan, will take the goodies home.
Get set, go.
Thank you. And it's a 5-minute, right? The timer is on. So if people are unable to just get the access of the QR code, you can just walk friend, do scan them.
Guys sitting at the back can walk in front and scan the QR code and take up the challenge. Timer is ticking, tick, tick, tick. After completing, please don't forget to post on LinkedIn and tag Ujjivan Small Finance Bank.
Once you are able to complete it and post it, you might want to come here and show it to me so that we can actually put that up and let people know that this is the person who is the first one.
We have another 3 more minutes. Two more minutes.
And how many of you completed one course? Oh, wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful.
The last 1 minute, 60 seconds to go.
And our hearts are beating faster.
50. 40 more seconds.
So I think we have one winner.
30 more seconds. I hope you all haven't taken the 16,000 courses there on the LinkedIn, right? Okay. Last 10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop here, as this can go parallelly. As we always keep saying, learning is continuous process. So let's continue with our learning that we are there and we are engaged with. Aishwarya.
Thank you, Shiva sir. Thank you everyone for such an amazing participation. As Shiva sir told, can go parallelly. And as we march towards the end of this event and the beginning of a new journey, we would like to call upon stage Mashini Ashok, Head of Learning and Talent Management, to give vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for our colleagues joining us through YouTube. I hope you have stayed back for the entire session and you have stayed back for the demo as well. If you have participated in the games that we have had here, we'll figure out a way to get back to you as well. So thank you very much. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the leadership members who are here. Thank you, sir, for making out time. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, everyone. There are few names and departments that I would want to call out, without whom this launch today wouldn't have been possible. The first one are our colleagues from the LinkedIn team. Thank you for your patience and persistence. Thank you, Akansha, for taking us through the demo as well. We have one of our colleagues missing today, Vaishali, who was our Spock throughout. Thank you to the legal team, Shri Kumar sir. Thank you.
A big shout out, guys. So without Shri Kumar sir's support, this wouldn't be possible at all.
So, Shri Kumar sir के permission के बिना यहाँ पे एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता. So thank you, sir. Thank you for helping us with all those impromptu meetings and all the legal documentation. We have had a record turnaround within 7 days. Thank you to Ratan Jyoti, the CISO's team, because they helped us get all the websites whitelisted. Forget about just the risk appropriation of it. So thank you to the CISO's team. Thank you to the procurement team, Tahir, my dear friend, and your team. Thank you for helping us with all the documentation again and the negotiations involved in it. So you have a recommendation right away coming your way. Thank you to my dear team internally. Thank you, Siva. Thank you, Aishwarya, for being wonderful hosts today. Thank you to our champ, Abhishek, who has been behind this effort throughout. Thank you to my teams based out in the regions. I would want to call out their names. Jasmeet from the West team, Chiranjeet in the East, Suchi Smita in the North, and of course Tarun here in the South. Thank you very much. And thank you for all of you to join today on this occasion and making out time, 1.5 hours. We still have that competition running, I think. So, and marching forwards towards a new journey of self-paced learning. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As you clearly stated that we are marching forward for the new journey. So in order to have this journey into our memories, we want to have a cake cutting. So would request the leadership team to just come forward and the LinkedIn team to also be a part of it to have this cake cutting done. Sure. So nevertheless, Tahir sir, Abhishek, Srikumar sir, please.
Kindly come. Sir, Sanjeev sir, please. Cal ma'am. In fact, yeah, ma'am, you should also be here. Vijay sir. Mangesh sir, please come join us.
Tahir sir, if you can join us. Hip hip hooray!
A special mention to special mention to our regional teams and also our employees who have logged in from the branches. This license is available to all the branch managers and above at the moment, and I request everyone, especially in the branches, to please make time and utilize this platform. Like Shini said, there are limited licenses, and people who do not use the licenses will probably take a look over time and then get those licenses given to people who are more interested. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for joining in.
All right. So, so we have snacks, so it will reach to your table. It's a self-service system otherwise. So, but however, with that gamification that we had 2 winners. So, I would be more than happy to just call out the name. So, we have Almas Fatima ma'am to just come forward and collect the goodies. Almas ma'am? Yes.
Shini ma'am, if
Shini
you
ma'am,
can
do the honor. Chatalika ma'am is there.
Congratulations, Almas ma'am.
And we have Abhishek Sahu, so the second
We would
winner.
like to call upon stage Chandralekha ma'am to hand over the goodies.
Abhishek, you can wait till ma'am comes and gives the goodies to you.
Congratulations, Abhishek.
And team, if you have completed, please just come forward. We still have 3 more goodies left. So you just have to just show to us, like if you have tagged to the Ujjivan page. Have you completed the course? Please come forward. Yes, Mithun, in case if you have completed, you can come forward. Anyone else who have completed? Mithun, yeah. So the third winner is Mithun.
Congratulations, Mithun.
Ma'am, Shini ma'am would request you to just come forward and hand over the goodies. Mithun. Hand of applause, people. Right, so since we don't have the other two, the floor is now open for the snacks. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Enjoy yourself. The day is still young. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Wishing you all a wonderful evening. Enjoy your snacks. Thank you.
Thank you.